Do you know people who speak like 7 language easy? I thought they were genius, right? That they had special talents. But I realized it's not that. It's not that they have a special ability or talent. It's like everybody else has. But what they do and what we don't, like people who don't speak 7 language don't have, is the characters that they have that we don't. And there are many characters, I believe, to make it for you to be able to pull off all the capacity that we have as a human being, potential, right? And one of the, I believe one of the characters that they have that most of us lack is the practices. They do practices as much as possible, and they don't think it as practices. That's what's the key. They don't think as a practice, but it makes it, they make it as part of their life, and so it continues naturally. And for those of us, including me, I'm getting better, but what we can do is really, find 5 minutes, because we are busy, and we practice for 5 minutes, and that's it. But what practice is good about is that make good thing habitual, automatic, instinctual, and we want to make good thing instinctual so that it becomes natural. We don't want to think about it because thought that you have is very tricky. It could help your heart, what's coming from your heart, or it could damage it. So the thought is very tricky, and I think we want to use our brain to help what's in here. But today, or these days, I'm been wanting to be good at salsa dancing, and I'm practicing, and then this is my lunchtime. I came here for practicing 5 minutes. So that's what I'm gonna do. I started experiment yesterday, so I find that like in anything we need to have certain character in order to acquire some skills, or gain something, or anything, achieve anything. And like people who speak 7 languages, they are not just genius, they have the character, and we all have a genius, especially comes to language. So I decided to make this experiment because I'm learning salsa dancing now, as well as try to improve my language ability to multiple languages. But this could apply to anything. And since now I'm kind of learning salsa dancing, I'm gonna make this experiment because practice is so important, just for anything. So I'm gonna make an experiment that I'm gonna keep practicing the steps that I learned last week from Kevin and and I want to make it to my instinctual, my natural nature, right? So I don't need to even think about the steps, but I can do it so that I can fully focus on my feeling, and so that I can finally express my full feeling with dancing. That's my goal. And I want to emphasize this importance of these things, these characters, and one of the things is practice. So I decided to just film my practice, even though I don't want to show you to other people, but I make it to public so that I can commit and I can show my improvement by practicing continuously, consistently. So that's what I started yesterday. And today, yesterday I forgot to bring another equipment that I can play rhythmical instruments or music. So it was hard, but today I brought it. So I'm gonna try. Probably I'll be more comfortable. just so you know, I'm gonna get better and better as I practice, and that's something that I want to make as a record, right? I wanted to make it a proof, you know, from what I am today to a week later or a month later or 2 months later. If I continue practicing, what's gonna happen? That's the kind of documentary thing. I hold my hands on my chest all the time. Carlos Tess once taught me to do this. You know, keep it like this in front of your chest for the better control of your arms. But what if I put my hands on my chest and then keep it there? That's what I meant. Last experiment today. So I just went to 5-minute practice for today, and what happened was it became a much longer. I think at least 30 minutes I practiced because I started enjoying it, and you know, I didn't have anything behind that I realized that is so important. So I switched around the priority, and that's a good thing about like 5 minutes in between time thing is that, you know, if you try to find 5 minutes availability, there are tons actually, you know, even like a busiest person you can find. And if you start utilizing, what will happen is sometimes it becomes 1 minute because something comes up and then you can't continue. But oftentimes what happens is it becomes more than 5 minutes because you start enjoying it. And even though something that you didn't want to do in the beginning, once you start doing it, you start enjoying it and it becomes longer, which is a good thing. And sometimes you find something that was holding, you know, you had a plan behind, becomes less prioritized. And of course you have to have a core priority, right? Like something that you cannot give up, you know, especially for, you know, something with the relationship. You know, you can't miss your son's, you know, the performance or something. You can't give up on that. But there are a lot of things, something related to you which you thought important was become less important. So you have to have kind of a flexibility on prioritization too. Like I said, you have to have a core priority, but also the other thing, there are numerous various combination of prioritization. So that is something would happen. And so today I focused on the body movement. I just didn't care about the steps, and that's something that, you know, like something that I find very useful. I can focus on one thing. You know, there are many aspects on salsa dancing, for example, and when you speak about like language study, like there are many aspects of language learning. You know, you want to tackle, you know, everything balanced, but when you do, you can focus on one thing and everything will come together.